All right, questions for Jared?
Coach, just what's the message been? You guys obviously get the result you want 2 nights ago, but it's not the process you want. Top team in the league coming in here. What's been the message?
Yeah, we're talking about ourselves really until this morning when we go over Edmonton, but it's just about our expectations on our play and from individuals, from groups, lines, PP, PK, and then 5-on-5. Like it has to be. We have to keep striving to be better than that, you know. And I will say, looking at the video, like I did not like that game at all, and but in a lot of ways it's a one-off, right? Like it's not like we've played that way for a length of time. Yeah, it's coming off a couple of losses on the road, you know, where I felt like we could have been better, but that was a whole different ball game of bad. So I think they saw it, they understand it, and we're moving on. Guys are in good spirits today. We had some productive meetings again this morning, and getting ready to go for tonight.
Coach Sam Girardin.
He is, yep.
Mikko Rantanen and Leon Draisaitl both top in goals. What is it about a guy like Draisaitl that makes him such a valuable tool for the Oilers?
Yeah, a lot of the same like characteristics or attributes that Mikko has. Big guy, strong, good skater, great passer, has the ability to play with guys draped all over him and still make nice plays, whether it's shooting or passing. So a lot to handle. Obviously both like highly intelligent hockey players, and you add the mix of their size, speed, skill, passing ability, shooting ability into that, and it's tough to check.
No, it wasn't. You said it was the least of your worries 2 nights ago, but the power play is like 6 for its last 50 or 51.
Yeah.
Is there just any sort of theme there that you would like to see different besides?
Yeah, same theme as last week and the week before. I'm not going to keep answering the same question all the time, no offense, but yeah, it's the same stuff. But, you know, team, you go through that. You have like there's ups and downs to every season with individuals, like say Casey's going through or Sam's going through right now. You got to work your way out of it, you know. And I don't see it as big a negative as everyone makes it out to be, you know, like, well, the power play's killing us, but really it's not. You know, we're 9-2-1 in our last 12, and like it's not killing us. It's an issue that we're trying to make as good as we can possibly make every night, but we're finding other ways to win, you know what I mean? So I can count on one hand the games that we could have won if we had scored a power play goal, you know, and that happens, you know. There's other games that we're playing real well and the penalty kill gives up a couple and we lose because of that, or we score a bunch of goals but don't defend the right way and we lose because of that, or we defend really well and can't score and we lose because of that. So it's always ever changing. You fix one thing, something else pops up. The power plays lasted a little bit too long, but it's the same answer I had 2 weeks ago. You know, they have to figure it out and work it out, but there has to be a little bit more pace and attack mentality with it. And we've had some execution issues, and I don't know if they're gripping it tight now, but they're, you know, sometimes we're not seeing it either. We got open guys on the ice and we're not using them.
When you look at Blackwood, what attributes kind of allowed him to stabilize things back there for you guys?
Well, his skill set, his ability to read the play for me. Like, he's a big guy, skilled guy, and he was reading the play early. Like, he gets into the right spots before the shots come, and so he's just playing really well. He's one of the top, in my opinion, one of the top goalies in the league. I think his numbers show that recently, and he's given us a chance to win every night.
Has he been better than advertised?
I don't know. I think this is what you're hoping for when you go like make a trade and give up good assets to acquire a guy. This is what you're kind of hoping for. If we didn't think he could do this, we probably wouldn't have done the deal.
Is it Blackwood tonight?
It is.
When you've got players who are struggling a little bit, how do you balance rewarding the players who are doing the right things like a Logan O'Connor and still finding opportunities to get the best out of your players who are in a little bit of a rut?
How do I do that?
Yeah, how do you manage that balance?
Yeah, gut feel. I don't know. Like I can't like it's like you want to when guys are doing the right things, or at least with the right amount of effort and competitiveness. I'm usually a really patient guy, you know, like and because I know it's not easy. I know how hard the job is, and I think expectations You feel like a guy should be at his best 100% of the time for 82 games, 8 months long, and then do it again in the playoffs and just keep doing what they're doing. It's not realistic. Guys are going to have dips in that in their game, but I think there's you got to continue to set a high bar. You got to have high expectations. You got to push players to get there, but you also got to be patient, understanding it's just not reality. So I just go on what I see, and I'm honest with our guys. Sometimes I tell them, listen, they'll come in and ask about their ice time or why they're not playing here or there, and I said, well, because this guy's doing a better job at that job right now than you are, and it's nothing maybe that you're doing or not doing, but someone else is elevated, and and then sometimes it goes the other way for them. So it's just honesty. It's just. There'll be discussions about it, but just trying to treat the players as I would want to be treated as a player, So you got to make sure you open the lines of communication, and then it's fair is fair. You get, they know coming in here, all of our guys, and they understand it, that you get what you earn. It has to be that way, otherwise you're not going where you want to go at the right time of year.
A few last ones, Evan.
You don't do it often, but we saw Mikko at center a little bit last game, and
Yeah.
in the past, he seemed to play pretty well there. Is there
Yeah.
anything that's kind of stopped you from giving that a longer look over the years?
I was playing there tonight, so there's multiple things though. I guess the major, if I'm being honest, the major thing that keeps me from putting him there is the fact that he puts up 100+ points a year with MacKinnon. So it's pretty good tandem, and he's a winger. I think I know he plays both positions, has played center. We got Kadri, so Kadri's in the 2-hole. That's worked pretty well. So, I'm not going to move Mikko to the 3-hole. So there's all it just depends on the year, the time, the personnel, the injuries, how guys are playing. If Casey was tearing it up in the 2 spot right now, then I wouldn't put Mikko there either. He'd play with Casey or with Mac, and you lose guys like Val, everything's changing. So I want to see more production and depth throughout of our lineup from, some scoring on our second line, moving some things around. It's halfway through the year. It's a good time to try something, see how it works, see how long it works. So I'm open to changing, and I'm open to be flexible even through tonight's game.
Coach, we've seen Gabe out here with you guys at several morning skates,
Yeah.
in a row. From your perspective, are we getting any closer to maybe seeing him trying to participate in practices and things like that?
I sure hope so. Yeah. I mean, I don't have lengthy conversations on Gabe on a daily or even weekly basis, because it's been a long time. But he's in good spirits. I think he's making progress. That's all I can say.
Okay, thanks, Jared.
Yep, thanks.
Currently you're in top 5 in goals. What is it about a guy like that makes him such a dangerous weapon for the Oilers?
Well, I think his shot, obviously very smart player, knows where to go, knows where he can score, and obviously he's a big guy, hard to handle in the O-zone, and he plays well together with McDavid. They fight each other really well, so just a smart player and elite shot, which is going to help if you want to score.
You expect a lot of up and down tonight. Guys have all the skill in the world in this game tonight. Is that what you're expecting?
Well, hopefully not, but I think it's obviously with the skill. The skill's gonna take over some games, and tonight might be one. Hopefully it's more on our side, and we can take advantage and play to our strengths. Obviously we know they're a really skilled team, like you said, so we try to avoid going up and down with them and trading chances. We want to try to lock it down defensively and be very solid, make them earn every chance they get, because eventually they're going to earn some chances with their skill, and you can't shut down whole game those who are one of the best players in the world. There's a couple of them, so we're just try to make it hard on them, and they played last night, so try to get on them early.
This is a great game for fans, like you're saying. There's a bunch of superstars. If you weren't playing this game, would you pay to watch the skill and sit in the stands?
Yeah, if I would be a fan, hockey fan, probably for sure, I would try to get to these games and watch these games, and probably if I would live in Finland, I would probably wake up at night and watch it live. So these are the games, I think, with McDavid, Draisaitl, Cale, Nate, so it's fun to watch, I bet, for the fans.
And I've talked to you a lot about you being the leader on the team, but in a game that you guys had on Tuesday, how much more important and kind of how much more pressure is on you when the game's kind of going that way, and it's more time and more leaning on you guys?
Well, yeah, it's every game is important, and obviously Tuesday's game wasn't our best, and I think we're used to playing big minutes, so it's not really a problem. Maybe long term it's not ideal for if you want to get fresh for the playoffs. If you look at the other top teams in the league and their average for top guys, it's probably a little bit down, but I think we're used to it, and obviously if the game requires that we have to play more, that's what we're going to do.
You mentioned it wasn't your best game. What are you guys looking to improve on coming into a game against such a tough opponent?
Well, yeah, I think 6 breakaways against the Rangers we gave up or something like that. So I remember last time it has happened. So that was obviously too much. Just gave up overall too many chances and leave it to chance the game. Obviously, we're thankful for Blackie. Had an excellent night. He was our guy that night and made some big saves. But defensively, we have to be better.
The Avs and the Oilers are two very least penalized teams. Do you see this still being a pretty physical game?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like against these guys are always fun games. They play physical. They have some chippiness. They went to the finals last year and they were really close. They know what it takes to win games. Obviously, it's not playoffs right now, but I remember against these guys always physical games and because you never know, you might meet in the playoffs because we're both good teams and so you want to be good in this.
Thanks, Mikko.
I know we've talked in the past about the work ethic, not on your A game, but your B game. How difficult is it in a game like that to be able to dig deep when you guys haven't, maybe had the game that you have?
Yeah, I think for us, I think the execution, the energy, the structure, none of it was really there. Normally we can provide one of those things that can give us some momentum throughout the game, but we're lacking on a lot of fronts. And I think we relied on Blackie a lot, unfortunately. We don't want to have to rely on him as much as we did, but at the end of the day, we were able to get the 2 points. But we got to learn from that. We have to be a lot better, especially with the home stretch we have and the great teams that we have coming in throughout this stretch.
How much of that game that was the struggles you're talking about was effort based?
I think the effort's always there, I like to think, with our group, but it might not be there in the right areas. The execution wasn't there, and the effort, I like to think it's there more often than not, but sometimes it's on the offensive side opposed to the defensive side, and just the habits within the game that we were lacking.
What has been the message since the end of that game? Because I know you guys weren't necessarily happy with the game. We'll take the result, but not happy with the game.
I think just defensively clean a lot of things up. A lot of it is coming into the zone off the rush. I feel as though they had 6 breakaways, so anytime you give up that, you're doing something wrong up the ice that leads to the breakaway. So I think it's rewinding things and seeing how we put ourselves in that position, whether it's on a forecheck, a forward missing their coverage, a forward coming too deep within the zone as F3, or D-men making a bad pinch, whatever it may be, trying to clean those things up to lead to less odd man rushes down the ice and then less D-zone time down the ice.
Edmonton is a team that will make you pay. What is the key to eliminating chances off the rush against?
Yeah, it's being super diligent with our reloads and our coverage. Really good F3 spot coming through the zone, so we're trying to stay above their speed. They obviously have a lot of speed, a lot of skill making or playmaking ability, and then it's be tight with your coverage. I think they're a unique team where they don't need much time and separation. They don't need big passing lanes, so it's on us to try and tighten up our coverage and make it tough on them to make those plays and have to come through 5 guys to get to our net and get opportunities.
Thanks so much, Logan.
Yeah, appreciate it.